the lowest level of the structure that you're currently residing. Okay, if you're in on the second floor of an apartment building, get down to the lowest level that you can. Get into an interior room on the lowest level. Get as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Get out of mobile homes. This is one of those times, folks, that if you're in the path of the storm and you're in a mobile home, get out of there. It's better to be outside in a low spot or a ravine. Scott Wieditz, let's go to you.
All right, Rick, well, we just picked up the area of rotation that you're concerned with right now. The area is wrapped in rain. That doesn't mean there isn't a tornado. There could be one hiding in there somewhere. We've had a couple of weather spotters report that there still is a tornado on the ground. It's located precisely along 44, just about a mile south of the river. But it is still moving north, and there are just an incredible number of areas of rotation outside of this cell as well.
Okay. A mile south of the river, just north of Newcastle, right along I-44. That's right in here. I'm going to go ahead and just throw some streets on here. Here's I-44. Interior rooms, they're the best. Cover yourselves with pillows and blankets. When people are injured in tornadoes, many times it's because of the flying debris that is taking place, the falling debris. If you live along Southwest 104th, Southwest 134th, even farther south than that, Southwest 149th, be in your shelters. The most dangerous part of this storm now is moving away from Newcastle. It's just north of Newcastle along I-44, the portion of this thunderstorm that is either producing a tornado or has a very high likelihood of producing a tornado. I would assume that one is on the ground at this point. I would assume that there is a tornado on the ground as it's approaching the metro area, and you should be taking the appropriate actions. If you live east of Rockwell, along Southwest 149th to 134th, up as far north as 104th, no time to waste. Get to the shelters now. Go ahead, Ken.
Blazers game delayed until 8. Everybody there has been ordered to get to the basement of the Myriad.
Okay. If you have loved ones that are attending the Blazers game, that game will be delayed until 8 o'clock tonight. Everyone that's in the building has been ordered to the basement. So that's good. That's good. Those folks are safe. If you have loved ones there, don't worry about them. They're going to be taken care of. They're in the basement of the Myriad. Great place to be. If you're at home, you need to do the same thing. If you have a storm shelter or a basement to go to, you need to do that now. This storm currently north of Newcastle, right along the Canadian River, right along I-44. That is the most dangerous portion of the of the thunderstorm, with the potential tornado that is on the ground. Chief, we have somebody from Will Rogers World Airport. Chief, I'm sorry I didn't catch your last name. What information can you give us?
I can't give you anything other than there is pretty good heavy rain coming down at this time. There's light hail.
How large?
Nothing. Everything is pretty much wrapped up with rain.
How large would you say the hail is there?
Oh, probably marble size.
Marble size? Okay. All right, Chief, I appreciate you checking in with us. He's from Will Rogers World Airport reporting hail at this point. The most dangerous part of this storm now is... Brian, let me have that, please. Most dangerous part of the storm now is south and just slightly southeast of Will Rogers, along I-44 near the Canadian River. Severe thunderstorm warnings, Alfalfa and Eastern Major counties. Alfalfa and Eastern Major. And we'll try to show you those when we can. But right now our main emphasis is as a potential tornado moving into a heavily populated area of Oklahoma City. Okay, we also have severe thunderstorm and potentially tornadic weather close to the Anadarko area. We were showing you live pictures of that a little earlier. Tornado warning, western Grady and Caddo County. That is for this cell that you're seeing right here. That is for this cell that you're seeing close to Anadarko. northwest of Chickasha. Developing tornado was reported 8 miles. Scott, let's go to Scott Wieditz.
All right, Rick, it's on the ground. It just passed north of Highway 37, just outside Tuttle, heading towards the river. And it looks like it's near Newcastle, and it is at least about a quarter of a mile wide still.
Okay, so it's still on the ground near Newcastle. I've got it just a little bit north of Newcastle, but if you live in the Newcastle area, make sure you stay in your shelters. This is moving off to the northeast at 30 to 35. Brian, let me have that, please. First alert Doppler radar, as Scott Wieditz reporting, verifying tornado quarter-mile wide on the ground near the Newcastle area. This is moving to the northeast. I'm going to get a storm tracker on here. That will, the worst portion of this storm is going to pass just southeast of Will Rogers. It'll be into the Moore area at 7:23. Flynn at 7:28, Valley Brook at 7:29, downtown Oklahoma City close to 7:32. Folks in between Newcastle and Moore, and as far west as Will Rogers, definitely have to be in your tornado shelters at this point. Interior rooms, the best way to go. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Keep in mind, you're going to lose power. Many of you will lose power. Take a battery-operated radio, tune it to News Radio 1000 KTOK. That's on your AM dial, and 101.9, the twister on the FM dial, and you'll be able to continue to hear what we're talking about as this storm moves on through. Several fast units out. Walt from Wiley Post Airport is joining us. Walt, what do you have?
Okay, right now, Rick, I'm seeing quite a bit of a large wall cloud starting to build up northwest of the airport towards Kingfisher. It's got some rotation in it, and lots of lightning from cloud to ground. Looks like there is some pretty good rain shoots in that area.
Okay, Walt, we appreciate that. So a developing wall cloud there. We have tornado warnings that remain in effect for northern Canadian County as well as southeastern Kingfisher, not in response to the storm that is moving across or into southern sections of the metro. But right now, tornado was reported crossing the South Canadian River near Southwest 149 and in southwest Oklahoma City. The storm was moving east-northeast at 25 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and throw on some streets for you here. Once again, a tornado reported crossing the South Canadian River near Southwest 149th Street. Here's Southwest 104th. And Fast Unit 2, let's go to them. Remote 2, let's go to Remote 2. There it is. There it is. A live picture of this tornado on the ground. Passing Southwest 149th near the Canadian River. Fast Unit 2, this is a live picture. The tornado is on the ground, as we've been saying and speculating, as it has been wrapped in rain. It's hard to see, but this looks to be a huge wall cloud, a rotating wall cloud producing this. Scott,
yeah,
tell us what you see. You're right there.
This thing, I'm seeing it a little bit better than our lens is on our camera, but it is still about a quarter of a mile wide, maybe a hair smaller, and it is now tracking more towards the north as it has just crossed the river.
Scott, have you seen power lines flashing? Have you seen?
Yeah, when we pulled up to the Turnpike and 37, it just crossed the road and hit a bunch of power lines. A lot of flashes out there, so folks be careful because we got some more popping off right now. But this thing is still strong.
Once again, this is around Southwest 149th near the Canadian River. There you see, was that a lightning flash or a...
That's power lines, Rick. Power lines flashing off as they're hit.
This is near the Canadian River and Southwest 149th. Who's on the phone? Yeah, we're talking. We're talking with Scott. Scott Wieditz, Fast Unit 2.
This thing is just on the outskirts of Moore.
It is west of Moore by a few miles.
Southwest.
Southwest.
It's getting wrapped in rain again.
Okay, that means it's going to be very difficult to see once again, and even more dangerous as people will not know exactly where it is except to use First Alert Doppler radar, which we have.